Hi everyone. So today's the day. I did a bit of a cleanup because this place was a mess. So I'm going to give you a tour of this outdoor patio area. So it's enclosed. We've got walls on either side that lead into the living room and stuff. And then we've got this outdoor space with these bifold doors here. They can open up fully, so we do open them up, and there's just that little deck area there out there. And then in here it's mostly closed, as I said, so I keep a lot of plants in here. This is a sort of like our green room, and in the summer it's really hot. Obviously it gets hot in here, but the sun doesn't come in, so that is good because this everything will fry inside. I do try to open the doors, but they do get hot. The plants do get hot in here in summer, but in winter we get the sun that comes all the way through right to the back here, which is so lovely, and it's so nice and warm, and that's when we really use the space to sit out. And the dogs are here all year. They love to come out and sit here, but they love it when the sun is on them. And you can see those two ottomans there because the sun has now come in a bit. It's shining inside, so they get the sun over there, and they've been sitting on that ottoman to enjoy the sun. So let me stop talking and start this tour. And so right here in the front I have this Persian shield, which is such a pretty purple. It's lasted 2 years now. A friend of ours gave this to us as a gift, and I cut it back. I can't remember what month I cut it back, but it was looking scraggly, and I cut it back, and then in spring it just pushed out all this lovely growth, and it's now autumn for us here in March, and it's still looking good. So down here I have a Rhipsalis propagation. So that's caught on, it's doing well. I propagated it in I think September or so. And then the names of stuff that I forgot, I'll put them on the screen. And this is I think it's called a coffee bean plant, and it was just a single stem, as you can see in there. So I cut that back as well in September, and it's pushed out more branches, and it looks more lush. Look how lovely that green, it's so bright. I was thinking of giving it away to someone, and then I cut it back, and I said if it survives then I'll keep it, and then it pushed out all this new growth. So sometimes you gotta threaten your plants, and then they grow. Right, and this is my string of hearts, Ceropegia something like that, but I'll put the full name on there. And I've trained this over just this wooden circle thing. I cut it, what was this? I think it's some embroidery thing, but I used it as a trellis, and I kept circling this string of hearts around it. It's so full. I don't know, I think I'll just continue twirling it around and leave it there. It's happy. And then on this same stand, so this stand can hold 3 plants. So I've got this peperomia here, which is a moonlight, I think it's called. It is so pretty, but when the leaves are big it looks even more stunning because you see all this pattern, this veining on it is so cute, and it looks beautiful with bigger leaves. But I've had it now for about 3 years, I think, so it's getting taller, which is not always good. Maybe I need to cut it right back and then make it start off from scratch. That doesn't need a lot of care, and if you water it too much it's just so unhappy, so I let it get dry, and when the leaves feel soft and start to wilt, then only I water them. And then here I have a little Hawatia, which is catching up now. It was a very, very small cutting with no roots, so it's still getting there. And they like the cooler months, so it will start growing, I think. Let me try and go back so I can show you this little shelf that we made here. And I've got a lot of Hoya. So this Hoya is Crinkle 8, and it's grown. I like the leaves. The leaves are so firm, and yeah, it's grown quite a bit. But you know, these vining branches, they just annoy me because they get stuck everywhere. I've got another Hoya here. This one is cute as well. This is a smaller leaf. So I keep this inside. I keep quite a few inside, but I think this can go outside because I've left 2 of my Hoyas outside, and they just struggle, but they've been blooming. Oh well, the one has been blooming non-stop. What was that? I think that's a Hoya canosa as well. And because this Hoya crinklate is also a canosa, but it's called crinklate because it has this crinkly leaves, but it's like the same sort of family. And then my other Hoya, which I really like, Hushkliana, I think it is not happy. This part started to dry. You can see it's sent out a new shoot now that I can twirl around, but it's all my fault because I didn't water it. It was so bad, you know, I'm terrible at watering things. And this is another Rhopsalis of mine. It's so cute. I have not propagated this, but you can propagate them. You can, I don't know if you can see, there's already little roots at the bottom here, and you just cut them, propagate them, and they grow. They're so easy to propagate. So let me go back and show you from afar what I just showed you. So I showed you those, and then all my little plants on this stand here. And then on the top shelf there, my Rhopsalis and my Crinkle 8. And then I have a little aloe at the back there, and my other Hoya. And then this is just cuttings of my, what is that called now? I've got it inside. I keep it indoors. It's an indoor plant, and I keep it growing in our TV room, and it's grown so long that I cut it to propagate it. I didn't want to propagate any more plants, but I couldn't. I had to cut it, and I put this here. This has such pretty markings on the leaves. Oh yes, this is a Scindapsus pictus. Yeah. And then on the top here, I have another Hoya. This I also like. It's a Hoya, what Hoya? I'll put the name of that. But it gets white flowers. Very pretty. And that came back from the dead. I only had a little cutting. I bought a huge plant and it went, I think it got shocked. It didn't like when I brought it home. And then it died, and I grew it from a little cutting, and it's grown so huge. And then on the top here, I have another Hoya. That's a Hoya, Hoya Pubicalyx. Yeah, that's it. That's a Hoya there. And then next to it, Hoya also is a canosa variety. It has a darker leaf. So you can see they look very similar. Only the ones that have narrow leaves look a bit different. So, and then right here I've hung up another Rhopsalis. This is a thinner, finer variety. It's so lovely. And then I've got a different variety. Sometimes they just sell them as Rhopsalis, nothing special, and so they are different, but I don't know their specific name. And this one's grown so much as well. I need to up-pot them. And then look at my huge Rhopsalis here. Well, there's 2 next to each other. I think this is a Paradoxa. It is so huge. It was trailing all the way. Let me go back and show you. It was trailing all the way from the top right down to the floor, and you can still see it's almost there. And I cut it back and I propagated it. So I cut it up and I propagated them into a different pot here. So this one's growing so tall, or so long now. And you can see how big this one's gone as well. And this is reaching for the floor also. Yeah, so I got quite a few Rhopsalis up there on the top. And that's another Hoya, a thin leaf, what's it, Shepherdii. Let me see, go closer there. You can see the narrow leaves. That hasn't bloomed. And then down at the bottom I have my Rhaphidophora here, which if you see my Instagram was trying to conquer the world and reaching through everything to get to the light. So I cut it back and I placed it a bit closer to the light. And here I have my Shiveriana, my ficus, that's doing well. I left it, it used to be inside, but I brought it out here. Let it stay here. I had too much inside actually, so that's why I brought a few outside. Well, just mainly this, the rest of them were here. And then at the bottom I've just got a snake plant here, but this is the Moonlight Sansevieria. It's looking a bit dry. I might need to repot it. Oh, and my little table. Let me show you my little table that's underneath this shelf. Throw this leaf there. This is my Xerosicius stingovii. What's the common name? Silver dollar vine, I think. It is so cute. I propagated this from the mother plants, and it's grown so nicely. I need to give it a trellis, I think. The leaves are so nice and round. And then I have a whole range of Haworthia and Gasteria. I think this is a type of Sansevieria. I like this so much, and this little cutie here. They are so tiny. I can't wait for it to grow. And these Haworthias are all starting to pick up now as we get cooler. And then there I have my what you call this common thing? Yeah, not common. Oh, what is it? Yeah, I propagated this from a leaf actually. So, and it grows. The leaf grew over the couple of months, and then it gets a little ball, like, at the bottom of the leaf that starts forming roots, and then it's grown. It's taken quite a few years now, but you can see it's growing. It was a good experiment. And then there's my peperomia. This is a peperomia hope. It was one of my wish list plants forever, and I got it a few years back, but you can see it's stretching. It needs more light, and that's when it gets these longer gaps between leaves. And I cut it back because it was also reaching the floor and it was tangling up in everything. So I cut it back, and it's put out new shoots here at the base, which is always good. When you cut them, they start to put more shoots, and then you can get a fuller plant. So I'll keep cutting it. I might cut it up shorter next time, and then it can grow more shoots there. And this is my Haworthia here. Oh, I love this Haworthia. It's so cute. It just gets so little care, so undemanding, and there, so cute. Right, so that's there. Let me show you down. I've got my pothos. I think that's a marble queen. I was watering it, but I need to cut it back and propagate it because it's so. You can see here, it's the leaves are so pretty, but you can see it's just just one stem, and it's got a lot of shoots off that, but I need it to be bushy on the top here. So I'm gonna cut a lot and propagate it because it's too tall. If I hang it up, it was hanging up, it hangs so low. And so if I come this side, you can see I have them all along the side here, and I have a stand here, and on the stand I have a lot of my euphorbias at the top. So this is my ghost. It's putting on new growth here. Oh, and a little arm there. Oh, this Rhipsalis is like here, always on the way. So there's a little arm there at the back. And then there's I have a crested euphorbia that had no roots, and I've just grown it from the cutting, and it's grown so beautifully. It's put out new shoots. These are all new growth, and this is all the new growth is also cresting. So I think maybe that is coming straight, but I'll have to see. So this, as long as it keeps the crest. This is my other euphorbia, the pseudocactus, which I mentioned in my other video, all growing here. My stenoclida, and more propagation of the Rhipsalis. And then there's that silver dollar vine that I mentioned, which I propagated the baby there. So this is the huge mother plant that Xerosis Stengui. It's so beautiful. Those leaves are so round. There's my other euphorbia here, growing tall. And then I have this it's some sort of cactus. I got the name, I think, in the pot there, but it was so tiny, and I'm not lying, it was just there, that size, and so fast. Within like 2 years, it's grown and grown and grown and grown, and I don't, oh my gosh, it's still going. Is it end? Right there. So you can see it's almost to the ceiling, and I don't know whether to cut it and propagate it or put it outside in a pot. Yeah, so that's just going so tall, and it's just like fingers. And see, it's so just so thin, so different and cute, so much of height. So I've got that tangling up all the time with this Ripsalis because it does have a little bit of spiky thorns on it. And then I've got more of this Ripsalis here. Oh, and I must mention my fishbone cactus. Yeah, ignore this. This I have to cut out because it's dried. Yeah, something happened. Well, I didn't water it properly, but it's got a flower. 2 flowers actually, and there's one at the back. I actually thought that was a dried leaf, and I came to look why it was drying, and then I saw these were dry leaves, but that was actually a flower. And I did get some footage which I will add in to show you how pretty that bloom is. But yeah, I need to cut out that dried bits there, the yellowy bits, and hopefully it gets more shoots. But I need to propagate that as well. Or I need to put it in a bigger pot. Maybe they need water. And sometimes I forget that, even though it's a cactus, but it's a tropical cactus, so they do need water, and I do let it go for a bit too long without water. So I'll have to cut that back and yeah, put it up in some better soil because it's been there for a few years, but it's bloomed for the first time. So this year was the first time it bloomed. And then my little shelf here, let me give you a view of my shelf. Okay, so here as well, I've got a lot of euphorbias. So all these euphorbias are smaller varieties, and this one is the propagation that I took from outside, and I kept this inside as a backup, and it's doing so well. And this is also, it's a lactea, but it's the pink, it's a variegated crested one, and look how pretty that new growth is. It's so pink on the edges. And this euphorbia is growing. It's got a new baby there, looking so cute. Oh, what is happening here? This is not happy because I put it underneath. I need to bring it back to the top so it's reaching that way for the light. Yeah, so that's it. I love this euphorbia. It's got this blue hue, and the spikes are red, and so pretty it is. And that's another Stenoclada. I've got that outside as well. I propagated just as a backup, and that's doing well. Another euphorbia. This is one of my gasterias here, and this is a euphorbia with Fieldii. It's got all this wavy patterning on it, which is so cute. It stays quite small, which is good, but maybe I need to repot it or take some cuttings to make it a bit more full, because it's so full on the top and narrow at the bottom. And this one's also a euphorbia. It's a pineapple head or something, it's called like that, something like that. And then at the bottom here, these ones, I can't remember, I'll put the name there, but they're both the same. They've got all their leaves now. It's also like a euphorbia type because it also lets out that white sap. And there's my mammillaria, my rabusia. I think I've got outside. This was a baby and it's gone so huge now. And this is the arachnacantha. that I have outside as well. This needs water. I didn't water it, otherwise it would have grown much bigger. It put out so much of babies, but the babies dried. And that's my other agave, which I keep inside as a backup. So that's that. This serious, I don't know what some serious something, but yeah, it's very slow growing. And then my other cactus here, this is a gymnocalcium. It bloomed and it's getting another bud there. And that's my other rosacea. That's a rosacea albiflora. And then I have some other gymnocalciums at the back. Those are propagations. Oh, and this one I forgot to show you my other euphorbia. I'll put that name also on the screen, and then you can see my sad looking gasteria. The only reason it's sad is because it was in a more shaded spot and I pushed it out here, so it's not happy, looking a bit brown. And then underneath, oh, I didn't show you the second shelf before I get underneath. More gasteria here. I have this hernia, it gets that stinky flower. So I've got outside, I've got them, and I've got this propagation inside. It's growing so well. It's gone so huge. And then all those Hawathias, and then I've got another Hoya. There's two Hoyas at the back. That one is a David Kamengii, and this is a Australis Lisa or something like that. And another Sansevieria here. So that Sansevieria needs some water. I think it's looking a bit soft, or feeling a bit soft. And then in the bottom, I've got all my orchids. They finish bloom, so I put them here to get a bit more light and energy over this autumn month. So for spring, they will be nice and revitalized and give me nice huge blooms. So that's all of the plants on these two shelves here. And then here, I need to put the plant on the stool, but I haven't. But in here, I've got all these sticks that I cut out from my one of my succulents, because they actually have a hollow stem. You can see they got a hollow inside, and bees like that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to try, and this is actually from the door stem. I'm gonna try and make another bee hotel, and that's why I got. Look at Petal. She's sleeping on the beanbag. Oh, Petal. It's a cool day today. Yes. Yeah. So, and this is my other Sansevieria, which I really love. This cylindrical one. Yeah, maybe it'll straighten up. I don't know if I have to straighten it, but they are reaching all over. But that's fine. I left this on the table here. And this is another sort of Hawatia, which I love. It's called a spider. I think some spider, because of the markings. Yeah, I was neglecting it, but I've been taking care of it for the past couple of months, and it's looking okay. And then here I have my very small Dischidia. I really like these tiny little leaves. I did cut them and propagate them, so there's a few more cuttings here now. And you can see there's new shoots coming out here, but it still has a long way to grow, long way to go before it's nice and full. So I might need to keep propagating it. Yeah, it was expensive for a small plant, but that's fine. It's growing, and it's so cute with this what you call, not only the variegation, but that leaf structure. It's little hearts. It's called 1,000 hearts or something like that, but I love the different textures of leaves that provides. It's so different next to this long and spiky leaf and this other bigger leaf here. So that's all on the table. And then on this side is like just to hide some of the junk. And I have a ficus here. And then I have, yeah, so just had the junk here underneath. And then I have some air plants here. This is my air plants. And I just, also they need more water. Air plants are so easy. They, you know, if you want to start with anything, I'd suggest starting with air plants. They need light, so if you give them a lot of indirect light and just water every week, you know, just give them a soak for 10 minutes, take them out, let them dry off. You must always dry them off so there's no water that stays inside the crown. So as long, that's why I actually, if you can see, I turn them upside down so they drip. If there's any water, they drip out of it. So these are dry. They're not, I didn't water them recently, but if I water them, I turn them upside down till they get out all the water from the crown, and then you can place them anywhere. They don't need soil. So you just hang them up. That's why they're called air plants. And you can see we made this cute stand just out of an old tree stump. And this was a branch, and I even stuck it together. And it looks like a little tree. And I put this there. So you can just place them anywhere you like. And if you give them water, it'll look much better. And they get blooms. I'll try and insert some footage of a bloom. So this one wants to bloom, but because I think I didn't water it, the bloom dried. And it's trying to push out another one. But yeah, this one bloomed. Which one was it? Oh, it was this. Bloomed a few years back. And see, it's got two babies now on either side. It looks like the two ponytails. So I don't know how to remove them, so I'll just leave them to grow as one big mess. Yeah, you just need to water them, or you can spray them. I've got a spray bottle right here, but I'm so lazy to spray them. Let me see. There's no water, is there? Oh, I don't know why the spray is not working now. I'll have to, but look how cute the bottle is. It's so adorable. And you can spray them, like if you're very busy, just spray them occasionally, like, you know, every second day, and that's okay for them. But if you give them a soak every week, just in lukewarm water, they will love it. They would do so well. And then here I have an orchid. It's a different orchid. It's a, I don't know, it's like a cool weather orchid or something. And it's growing, so it's put out a few more bulbs. Maybe next spring it'll flower. I have it now for about 3 years, but it's just been growing. It hasn't been doing anything else. Yeah, so that's that. See, what is that spider on it? Yeah, and then I have my ficus here. And I forgot to mention my little hedgehog. It's actually one of those seed pods from the pine. It's like a pine cone kind of thing, and I stuck eyes on it, and it looks like a little hedgehog. It's so cute. So he stays here, and look, that little branch became like a nose. And I didn't show you this, my other pothos that's here in the corner of this space. What is this? The other one is a marble queen. And then this one is, it looks like it's got this paintbrush effect. I'll put the name on here, but I did cut it and propagate it because I only had one stem, and I need to cut it again so it gets nice and full. But you can see the difference in pothos. There's so many variations. And I have another one inside, which is the global green, which is only green but different shades of dark green. And this one has just the white, the paintbrush effect. And the marble queen has more of that marbled finish. So that's there on this corner as well. And oh, I was supposed to show you my, this is actually from a palm tree we picked up from the park. And it was so cute, so I just picked it up and brought it here. And I kept it there, so that's there. And this is you can see my neglected cutting. What was this? I don't know, it dried up. But this is a Rhipsalis, which I don't need any more of, so that's why I'm not bothered. Oh, let me show you this. I bought this from the dollar store. It's actually a little like a swing chair. I bought it for my air plant. I thought I could put my air plant to sit in there. Oh no, I need a smaller one. Let me take the small ones here. Yeah, so you can see you can put your air plants in these cute little things as well. They're so cute to display them. And these air plants here at the bottom are, this is a tillandsia, and I just hung it up on, it's a tie, it's a tie holder, but I just hung up the tillandsia here. And, you know, once it gets long, it'll be so full and pretty. And then I've got these, I tied them up to just a piece of wood and hung it up. So yeah, so that just doesn't need much care. They're so easy. And let me give you a pan of the entire space. Oh, I forgot my one Hoya. Yeah, this is my Hoya Matilde, which is so huge and blooms so profusely. So you can see all those little peduncles there where it gets the blooms. And you know, it just needs a lot of light. So I put it here so it can get that light, and once it gets the light, it blooms so much. But this year I put it late here. I usually keep it for winter. I kept it here on the stand here to drape over it, and it was fine because, as I said, you know, the sunlight comes here in winter and it was loving that warm sun. But then when summer came or when spring came, the sun just, you know, stopped there, and then it wasn't getting anything, so it wasn't ready for its full blooms like it normally does. And then I realized when I brought it back and hung it up here, and then it did bloom. Let's see how much of growth it's put out as well. So it did bloom, but not like it does normally or every other year. So next year I must remember, after or in spring, I need to bring it to the front. Yeah, it's so easy, this Matilda. It's so easy to grow, and it's such a good grower. And then, okay, let me show you the whole thing. Right, so that's that. I've got these bottles underneath because I fill up rainwater and stuff. I don't give these ones rainwater, but I fill up the bottles for rainwater for my indoor plants, for the ones that like rainwater, like my you know, for my the calatheas actually. So they like rainwater. They don't like any other water. So yeah, so I use the rainwater for them, and these ones I just use tap water, let them stand out for a while. Well, cactus would love rainwater, but you know, well, we didn't get enough rain anyway. So that's all my hanging plants there. So there's a gap there because I had that marble queen pothos that was hanging there, and it's down getting watered, and you can see how much of plants are there. And these ones are on the table down here. Yeah, but quite a few of them are sort of hidden until you get around here, and then you can see my little shelf, which is so lovely with all that, with all my string of hearts. That circle looks so cute. So you can see that string of heart, it's so lovely. And all my roxalis up there. And all of these. Okay, so that's the end of the tour. Yeah, oh, this is a good view. Look how lush everything looks from when you're on the side. Yes, I hope you enjoyed this tour of this indoor indoor patio area, or I should say covered patio area. That's it's so beautiful to sit out here in winter. and when everything's blooming, because these Rhipsalis get beautiful white flowers in early spring or late winter. And it's just so calming to sit here amongst all this as a curtain, this green backdrop. So I shall see you next week, and I hope you all have a lovely weekend, and yeah, enjoy some time in green space. Bye.